And for those of you who don't know who Coach Gaines is, please do your homework. Please do your homework. It's so important that we do our homework and we don't forget this history, because so many times we get other people writing our stories. Please, this man's story is plastered all over the internet, books. And
he's
just
in
a
the Hall of
legend, man.
Fame. He's a Hall of Fame.
Definitely. Yeah. Nah, for sure. So you get down there.
Yeah.
And you down there with a few guys from New York. How did that work? And how did that, set you into that comfortability zone, coming from New York City, knowing that you got some guys from New York there as well?
Funniest story, Pooh. Funniest story. So I get down there, freshmen get down there before the upperclassmen, right? So I remember one guy, my man Donye Jones. He was from Saginaw, Michigan. We were freshmen together. And then we used to go work out together. So one day I'm coming from the gym and I had that tournament shirt on from Elmcore City College. And your boy, Phil Hayes, looked at me and said, "Yo, you gotta be from New York, money."
Salute my guy, Phil.
He said, "That's a New York tournament there. What's up, New York?" That's how I met Phil.
Wow.
And Phil was on the team as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then he was in school for summer school. And so after that, Phil was the one who introduced me to all the teammates. Monte Ross, Stephen A. Mark, he introduced me to the whole team. He was like, "Yo, this New York guy, he's on the team," and blah, blah, blah. So then when we had our first team meeting, me and Phil and Monte and us guys, we've been inseparable ever since that day. But that's how I met Phil.
Man, listen, I want to give shouts to Phil, man, because Phil is such a cool brother. Always been the same. Always been the same, Phil, no matter when you saw him, man.
Yes.
Cool brother, such a balance, never a hater, always gave love and showed appreciation, man.
Yes.
I know you were close with the family as well, and I know you told me this story when we were sitting down at the restaurant, Salute the Harlem Tavern.
Yep.
And you were saying how, because of what Phil Dad did for you, you were able to do for somebody else when you got to be a grown man.
It's so funny you say that. So Phil and them guys were so instrumental in my growth, because even though, like I said, I saw what was happening in Inglewood, but I didn't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Winston-Salem opened my eyes that I've never seen before. I seen Black excellence, Black people in all different light, rich, middle class, poor, the whole nine. I never seen that coming up in the Bronx. Probably saw it in Inglewood, but didn't appreciate it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But Winston-Salem did that. If you remember, Mr. Hayes was an anesthesiologist.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Hayes used to come down to his Benz and take us out to dinner. And then take us to the mall and shop. And to this day, I'm wearing Sergio Tacchini tops. He will buy us Sergio Tacchini sweatsuits, man.
Wow.
He'd take us to dinner and the whole nine because we was Phil's boys.
Them Sergio Tacchinis they're not cheap, bro.
They wasn't cheap. They wasn't cheap.
Right.
So what I do to this day, one of my nieces, she goes to Montclair State. Shout out to my niece Lancel. And when I go visit her and I'm having lunch with her and I say, "Yo, bring your friends," I take them and let them shop up the mall. Nice. Just like Mr. Hayes did for us.
Nice.
So those guys helped me. They helped me see that you can still hang out, but still take care of your responsibilities. For me, it was just the chicks in the jump shot and basketball. I didn't care about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, watching them, especially my boy Monte Ross, man, like when we became roommates, like that dude was different. Him and Steve, they had their goals. They knew what they was in college for. They said, "This is what we're going to do it." And I watched them do it and then turn their careers into something. Because Monte is the guy I was telling you, he's a Division I coach. He coached at St. Joe's. He recruited Jermaine Nelson, Delonte West, and them dudes. Then he went to he was the head coach at Delaware, University of Delaware. Then he was the top assistant with Aaron McKee at Temple. Now he's the head coach at North Carolina A&T.
Which is dope, right? So when he gets this job at North Carolina A&T, your other friend, who's now a world-renowned sportscaster, he is like, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck, right?
Bro.
I got this platform, and compared to Stephen A. what he does, it's a very small platform, right? But it's huge in New York City.
Yeah.
And I had so many people come to me and ask me or tell me I should get at Stephen A. I should just do episodes. And yo, Pooh, if you want to blow up, just get at Stephen A. Just get at Stephen A. And I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not. Right. And we talked about this, right? I said, there's no way I'm doing that. If whatever success I'm going to get is going to be because of my hard work and my work ethic.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that to knock another brother down.
Correct.
I don't know him. Right. My guys went to school with him. So how do I look if my guys knowing me? You, Phil, y'all guys know me. Y'all guys are my friends. Y'all like Pooh, that ain't Pooh style. Like Pooh ain't
right. 100%.
So
but what did I tell you? When you reached out, I said, if you want to ask, don't hold nothing on the table about it.
That's a fact. So we're going to get into it right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Coming up with Stephen A. Smith at Winston-Salem State, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did your guy do, man? What did all of you guys do? Because I know all of you guys had a hand in this.
Well, let's back up. So I could give you the pre-story.
Okay.
One of the things that we did at Winston-Salem, Big House kept us closed as a team. So we always on the same floor. He kept us busy, super busy. It was illegal now, but we had 3 practices a day. 6 in the morning.
3 days.
Then 4 o'clock, and then 8:30, 9 o'clock at night until the season started. Then we went back to regular. But we had to run those stairs and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. You know this, Pooh. When you're going through that kind of torture as teammates, you pushing each other, you looking out for one another. And then us as New Yorkers, I hate to say it, but it was a north-south thing that goes on down there. So we try to stay together and stay strong with one another. You know what I'm saying? If we needed rides home, we all got, make sure we get a ride home. We going to New York, let's go. And we did that together. So this bond we created, we keep it going to this day. It just so happens Steven is who he is now. You know what I'm saying? But that dude ain't changed. And I told you this. That dude has never changed. The one word I would give people, if you really want to know about Stephen A., is misunderstood. He is misunderstood. Yes, he's that dude that's going to yell. And I told you, like, what I tell everybody, his fame helped us become better friends. Because of him, instead of yelling at 6 to 10 of us all the damn time, he's yelling at 6 to 10 million people.
Is that a trick question?
You tell me.
They gave up Kwame Brown.
Who first cares? Rounders.
I could care less.
Tied into his salary for first.
He get tired of yelling. So when he talking to us, now we can have a civilized conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? So he hasn't changed not one bit. What I see on television is what I saw when I met him at the age of 17 years old. He's going to yell. He's going to say his opinion. He's going to do stuff. I told you about the story with Big House. When we got to play with him, he was older. He was losing it. It was things that was happening that only the team saw. So really our assistant coach, Tim Grant, really ran the program like that. You know what I'm saying? So Steve wrote an article about he should be fired. And Big House is Big House. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only thing, like, he was so big, they wanted to kick Steve out of school. But what people didn't realize is the behind the scenes Steve did. He went to Big House and told him he was writing an article. So when the chancellor and everybody was like, yo, kick him out the school, Big House was like, no, that's my guy. He's taken care of. He already told me what he was doing. It's the same thing that happens today on his show and his personal. He's doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody knows. but then he gets the heat for the front show, but not the behind the scenes. They don't have a clue. Now, I understand people can't understand that because I'm privy to some behind the scenes things that he's doing and stuff. I get it. But then when people go after him, they don't understand the behind the scenes and why he's doing certain things. You know? Now, with that being said, the loyalty we have for one another is still to this day, no matter how big he gets. He's in our group chat. If we say, yo, man, we got to put eyes on each other, we jumping on a Zoom call, he's there. He's stopping everything. If you watch First Take, that's a lot of us from Winston texting him. Yo, you good? Blah, blah, blah. He's texting right back, live on air. You know? Now, with that being said, when Monte got I say all of that to establish how close we are and that bond that we developed as basketball players down in Winston-Salem State. To this day, his loyalty is to us. So when Monte got the job at A&T was our rival when we got to Winston-Salem. A&T and Winston-Salem State is a crazy game. So when he got it, Steve said, look, man, that's what Steve's idea was, nobody else's idea. He said, yo, we got to get down and support Monte for a big game. And their big rivalry right now today is North Carolina Central. So he said, listen, we're going to get the fellas together. He went and got a jet, and we all flew down just to support Monte as teammates. It was only teammates could go. That was Monte's and all of us teammates. Steve got that jet. We flew down to North Carolina. We had dinner. We went to the game. We hung out with Mont. Steve took pictures with people and stuff like that, and we hopped back on the jet and came back home. And that's just his loyalty to the teammates that we established today. You know, now get it. Listen, I get a lot of heat for him. You know what I'm saying? People love him or you're going to hate him. There's no in the middle ground with him. You love him or hate him. I get it. You know, I get it. But, you know, I can't say that part about the hate part. I can't. You know, that's one of my closest friends in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that dude lives up to every part of what a friendship is. And, you know, when I say misunderstood, that's the public side. The personal side, I give him the word of loyalty. His loyalty is unreal.
That's dope, man. For a young man who started out in journalism, took it serious, wrote the tough articles, right? Because look, he still right now gets flack for that article, not knowing that Coach Gaines gave him his blessings, and stood by him. You know,
that's the part people don't know about.
Right.
That's the behind the scenes part. They just know about the article. And like I told you when we was together the other day, I said, look, he hasn't changed. Even the stuff he says on television. I heard when I was 17 years old. And I told you the story about the football player, the football team. So he wrote an article because he was the sports writer for the school newspaper. And I remember a cornerback gave up a key 3rd and 15 first down. He wrote about it. That cost Winston the game, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And the dude wanted to fight Steve. He showed up with some football players, and they was like, yo, what's that about? And Steve said to all of them, look, I'm not going to deny y'all going to kick my ass. Y'all going to kick my ass. I know that. But that's not going to change the fact you gave up a 3rd and 15. And the game was lost. So go ahead, whoop my ass.
Still doesn't change anything.
He says that on ESPN to this day. LeBron will beat my ass. I know that, but that's not going to change how I feel about him.
It's a fact.
I heard that when I was 17 years old from this dude, man. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, Big Rob was like, I don't remember Stephen A. At Thomas Edison making noise in Queens basketball. Can you explain how Stephen A. got to Winston-Salem so people can? Because we're gonna clear the air right now, bro.
So as I told you before, Stephen A. went to Thomas Edison. I can't speak on his high school career.
Right.
I can tell you that he went to FIT and did his thing. And then, you know, we talked about HBCU recruiting. It's really word of mouth because the HBCUs don't have a recruiting budget like that where they could travel like the major colleges.
That's a fact. I know about that.
So now Stephen A. had a New York connect go down there and try out for Big House. Steve did his things in that tryout. Big House offered him on the spot. Okay. Like I tell most people, and this is when you and I talk, people don't realize only 3 to 4% of high school athletes actually get a scholarship to play the sport they want to play in college.
That's the truth. I know.
Right? So now, how could you knock somebody that got a 4-year scholarship, tuition free, for playing ball? Everybody ain't gonna make it as a pro, bro. And Pooh, you know this game. When you start playing, it's levels to this thing, bro.
That's a fact.
There's great players on the Division II level, the Division III level, on every level. Getting to that NBA, that's like 3% out of like 5-10 million people that's trying to get into it. I don't even think the NBA roster in the history of it made 5,000 players yet. You know what I'm saying?
Just barely reached 5,000.
Right. You know what I mean? So, like, you want to knock him because he didn't get busy in college, but he got his tuition paid to play?
And suffered through some injuries, too.
And then that's another thing people don't realize. When I got there, they upperclassmen, Phil and all them guys are 1 year ahead of me, okay? Right before I got there, Steve blew his knee out bad. I mean, he had an ugly injury. And they questioned whether he ever play again. And back then, there was none of this sports science and all of this stuff. And we joked about it. And if you mention this to Steve, you want to really piss him off, just walk up to him and say, put some balm on it. Because that's what the trainers and all say. Yo, put balm on it, which is like Bengay.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And his knee was shot. So he had to go back up to New York and get it repaired to the best of his ability, you know? And he tried to play, but he never recovered from that. But Big House loved him so much, he didn't shut him down. He said, look, keep playing. Now, Big House was tough. Big House was tough. He was one of them old school coaches. Like I'll never forget, this one of our jokes on the team when Steve was trying to play with his bad knee. He hobbling, he doing everything he could. He just couldn't do it, right? So Big House blew the whistle and said, come here, son. He said, you know I'm from Kentucky, right? He said, you know what we do to horses that can't perform? We take them in the back and we shoot their ass. Sit down. That was Big House, man. You know, but he loved Steve. I guess he saw something in Steve most of us didn't see. But he kept Steve there. And you know, he didn't cut him, which they could do. They ain't cut him or nothing. So when people say, oh, he wasn't shit, it's most of the people that never played. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Spank, I am on the NBPA Top 100 camp committee. So I have a say in who's chosen as one of the top 100 players in the country.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys won't be in the NBA.
Right. Like
a lot of them, maybe 1% of those guys.
Yeah.
And they the top 1%.
Yeah. It's really hard, man. So, you know, anybody that get to play, even the bench dudes, you know the commitment you have to put in to stay on that team. Do you know, and Pooh, you know this. This is something I live for, and I know you probably live for it. Most of the students think because you're not playing or you're not the star, they could challenge you.
Right.
And you gotta show them it's a different level to this.
That's the fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think this is easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. So, like, when people like, oh, he can't play. Okay, fine. He's not an NBA player. He ain't even a star. But he got a 4-year scholarship in basketball. That you can't dispute. How many people can say that? That's my only rebuttal to them on that.
That's amazing, man. And, you know, let's talk to my guy, Tiny.
Yep.
Tiny Morton. He's showing me some articles, some old articles. And he was like, yo, look at the writer, Stephen A.
He covered Steph and did Daily News. That was one of his first big jobs because he stayed down at the local newspaper down in North Carolina. And then his big job was covering high school sports and daily news.
And you know, that's what a lot of people don't give him credit for, his grind, right?
No,
his grind
yeah.
from the bottom,
Yeah.
of the bottom
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
getting where he's at now. And
Yeah.
for a black man to reach that level
Yeah.
is almost impossible in the world that we live in. And for him to get there, man, is just a feat within itself.
And I'll add this to it. Most people don't know how mistreated he is on the back end. They think it's good. That dude got to fight every day, even with the name he has. People still trying to jerk him, undercut him, and the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And he got to fight against all of that. And people don't see the behind the scenes. Like my boy Monte, he said a phrase to me I'll never forget. Monte said, people only see the games.
That's a fact.
They don't see the behind the scenes what it take to get to that game. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, he is who he is. I'm not going to stop loving him and being my brother, you know, because people got their opinion about him. Shit, I have disagreements with Steve. And it's like, and I tell everybody, a real friendship is not when everything is going well. It's when you have disagreements too. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I have disagreements with my own parents. That don't mean I ain't love them or I should cancel my parents because I disagree with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's things that I don't agree with him. And I say, oh, dog, I think you bugging and this, that, and the other. But he'd give me his perspective and we just got to agree to disagree. But that don't mean I don't stop messing with him or cut him off as a friend, you know? In this day and age, everybody has a voice with social media and all that. They could go out here and start these little campaigns and cut all cancel culture and all that. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It comes with the territory. Even it comes with the territory. Remember, I got caught in the middle of his stuff with the dude, Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock came at me, calling me a Hollywood plant. Yeah, you didn't see that? I sent it to you. Yeah. He said Stephen A. didn't have a real career. His stuff is all made up. And he did research on me. He found nothing about me going to Winston-Salem. So I got to be a Hollywood plant that helped Steve get to where he at today.
We're not going to talk about dude. Let's not even mention his name no more.
We're not doing
right?
that. Yeah. And I'm mad I did mention that. I'm mad I mentioned it.
And it's all good. You already know what to do. Subscribe, like, put it in the comments, and share the content. This way, we can help the channel grow. If it worked for me, it can work for you. Peace.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of